Well, longtime listeners know that our favorite subject on the planet is construction. And a lot of times we like to just kind of talk about construction projects and the local construction industry. And we have a name that we know well, Corey Taylor. He is with Turner Construction, has joined us. Corey, welcome to the show.
Jeff, Trenton, thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being here. And, a lot of people know that Turner Construction is the sponsor of our lightning round, the thing we do at the end of the show, and we talk about a lot of topics in a short period of time. So I guess first I would say thank you to you and your colleagues for helping us bring this content to Omaha citizens and visitors.
Yeah, you bet. We're a proud sponsor. Glad to be a part of the show.
Well, we appreciate that, Corey. And so let's get started. And why don't you give us a kind of the 30,000-foot overview of what Turner Construction's all about, and maybe on the grand scale, and then also here in Nebraska.
Sure. So grand scale, Turner's a North America-based full-service construction services company with 46 offices nationwide, an international firm as well. But I think focused on Turner Omaha, 150 professional staff, another 150 craft. And most people don't realize that we've been doing work in Omaha for 30 plus years, but it's really been the last 10 years where we've made a full-time commitment to this market, and really centered around the resources that we have here that live and work here in Nebraska.
Well, and that's just it. I mean, even though Turner is a big international firm, there's a great team here, and the team locally has deep Omaha roots. Where's the office here in Omaha? Yeah,
114th and Davenport. So for us, it's really centrally located when we look at the scattering of our projects and clients and people we work with day in, day out. So good location for us.
They're right by Eagle Mortgage.
Yeah, very close to Eagle Mortgage, actually. And not terribly far from our NAI NP Dodge office as well. Well, Corey, let's talk a little bit about some of the market conditions in the construction world right now. We know that interest rates, while still historically are fairly low to reasonable, they've skyrocketed in the last 2 years. How's that affecting construction? What are you seeing first on the national basis, and then maybe kind of give us an idea about what's happening locally, regionally?
Sure. Well, I can say that it's really no secret that it's slowed a bit or maybe tightened, but the exciting part is the number of projects, we don't really see a decrease in that. I think in a lot of ways it's finding creative solutions to get these projects out of the ground. So in large part, when we see nationally, this tightens a little bit more at the coast, but we feel pretty insulated here in the Midwest region. So we're still pretty bullish on all of the projects that we have here locally, and just really the scale of the projects too. So quantity and scale, it's pretty promising for the outlook of Omaha.
But when Turner Construction, and for all construction companies for that matter, projects can go on for a couple years. I mean, the Sarpy County Data Center, you guys have been on it for, 7-8 years now?
Yeah, that's right.
And it's so you've got some lead time, but what happens is that the economy kind of changes, and what's your outlook for the next year or two if you had a crystal ball?
Sure. Well, I would love that crystal ball about 3 years ago, right? That'd have been okay.
It's worth a lot of money.
I think it's just one of the beauties of working for Turner is that we do have a very diverse background in a lot of different markets. So we try to forecast that as much as we can, and then shift some of our priorities to federally funded projects, municipally funded projects where state dollars are kind of infused in some of that development. So that's been a large focus of ours, and we're pretty fortunate to have some large projects out at Offutt Air Force Base.
You got a huge project down at Offutt Air Force Base, and you're big in medical too.
Yeah.
So what has really carried the construction industry? My sense is government projects, medical projects. What else?
Well, I would say that if you look at where the trajectory of our economy is going, really in the tech, advanced manufacturing, those markets are still incredibly strong. A lot of that has to do with federally infused funds into those markets. But I think it goes beyond that. Healthcare is a significant market specifically in Omaha. But bioscience, ag, those markets are still really strong, even when we feel the tightening from some of the interest rates.
How have construction costs? For the last few years, everybody's like, oh my gosh, construction prices have doubled and land hasn't gone down. And then you've got these 7 or 8% interest rates, and hopefully they'll come down next year. But that's kind of a dangerous mix for especially for a lot of smaller players.
It's a challenging combination for a lot of developers. I'm excited to say that our trends that we're seeing both locally and nationally is that while costs may not be going the opposite direction, they're normalizing. So I think that in large part when we have the ability to forecast what I'll consider normal inflation at a consistent rate, that helps us be really accurate. And developers can build deals around that when you know and you can forecast that. It's somewhat the unknown. So material lead times are normalizing. So they're coming back into a normal route. They're still longer, but they're not as sporadic. Material cost in general are, again, normalizing. So we're seeing some of that steady out to where we have a higher level of cost certainty and predictability when you look at both cost and schedule. So I think it's a big plus for the construction industry moving forward.
How is Nebraska faring to your other markets? Are you a hero or?
Of course he's a hero.
You're always a hero to me. But
Thanks, Trenton.
But when you're talking to your colleagues around the country, how's Omaha looking?
You know, it's interesting. I've been fortunate to work in a couple different markets in our north central region, and when I first started, we were somewhat the flyover states in terms of construction. Right, the big projects were still on the coast. That's really been flipped on its head over the past 5 years. And when you look at those advanced manufacturing projects, data center projects, those mega hyperscale projects, that's all really been focused. Significant input into the Midwest. So Omaha in general is looking really strong in comparison. We're pretty excited about what the future has in store here.
We have Corey Taylor with us from Turner Construction. And Corey, we wanted to talk to you about one of the really big projects that you guys are working on here in the metro area. It's a non-kinetic operations center at Offutt Air Force Base. What on earth is that?
And why didn't you get the kinetic operations center?
You only got the non-kinetic.
Yeah, all good questions. Good questions. So we're super excited about this project. So $390 million design build, and it gives us really a great opportunity to partner with some local design firms, really great trade partners in the market, and a design assist basis, and working through design right now, and hope to break ground sometime in Q2.
What the heck is it?
Well, the non-kinetic operations, if you were to break down the name a little bit, it's a little bit of an intelligence center, so it's all the things that don't go boom. So it's an opportunity as part of the Offutt rebuild. So when we look at that, there was 3 major projects. This is one of them, and we're just excited to be a part of it. Obviously, there's going to be some things inside the facility that not able to speak to, but ultimately it's about a 400,000 square foot facility that's going to be in partnership with the 55th Wing there.
How many stories?
4 stories.
Okay.
And then this is, like you just talked about it, this is part of the rebuilding of Offutt Air Force Base, because that 2019 flood more than decimated the base. It took out about a third of the base, and so there have been all that work on the levees and now these big projects. And, you know, the average Omaha area person doesn't notice that because it's on base. You just don't see it. It's not like driving by a skyscraper or something like that.
Right.
But this is a huge project and a huge part of our national defense. That's pretty cool.
When does it come online?
2027 is when we're tracking to have that complete. So we're excited. It's one of those projects that with the design build portion of it, right? There's so much buildup before you actually get to go put a shovel in the ground, but a lot of work behind the scenes up to this point.
Oh, I can only imagine. What are some other things that Turner, Nebraska is working on these days?
Sure. I think there's a large focus on our special projects division and really growing some of those community partnerships. We're going to stay focused in the data center market. That's been a big opportunity for us here, obviously in Sarpy County. So we're going to continue to focus on that and with some of those clients. But ultimately, using some of our national expertise in healthcare, advanced manufacturing, and I would say science and tech in general are really where our focus is in and around the metro area. So we've got an exciting bank client. We're starting in Gretna. That'll happen in Q2. Some behavioral health projects that we're launching as we speak. So a lot of upside.
And you're hiring, right?
We are. A lot of postings. I would say that's both on the self-perform side and the our professional staff side. So great opportunities to work on some of these projects we just mentioned and to continue to help us grow here in Omaha.
Just Google Turner Construction Omaha.
That is that's one of our competitors on that project. Is that what you're referring to?
No. He was saying about if people were interested in working.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
TurnerConstruction.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
TurnerConstruction.com.
So, speaking of the talent issue, we have been hearing for several years, way before the pandemic started, about the severe shortage of workers who are going into the trades. And supposedly the talent availability is one of the things that sometimes slows down construction projects. Where are we right now, Corey, in that talent shortage? I don't know, can you call it a crisis? But that talent shortage problem right now in the construction industry. Where are we, and how is it trending?
Well, it's a major focus of ours, both locally and nationally. When we look at how this impacts the market, it's not just our staff; it's really our craft. And when we look at how busy we are in Omaha. The biggest limited resource isn't material. It's people. It's the men and women that are out there using their hands every day to put this work in place. And I think that's maybe one of the challenges. And I'm excited to have the leadership of the chamber and some of our legislature that seems to be a major focus of ours here in Nebraska to really grow that workforce, incentivize that people moving to the state and growing their careers through all of these exciting opportunities we just talked about.
Yeah, Heath Mello, the head of the Greater Omaha Chamber, was on the show 2 weeks ago, and he was talking about some things that the state might be undertaking. Could be some things going through the legislature this spring. And we are at a point right now as a state where we need to think creatively. We're doing a pretty good job of pulling people into the Omaha area, and we tend to, compared to the other 100 largest metro areas, be in the top half for population growth, but to get where we want to go, that's not quite enough. We need to ramp up that speed of growth a little bit.
Speed of growth, and I think it really goes to finding innovative ways to still meet the needs of our projects. So that's through offsite construction and prefabrication. How do we continue to push the envelope on that, right? And really rethink what it means to build some of these hyperscale facilities. So that's going to be a large focus as we grow, and I think it's going to be a really large impact to the industry as a whole.
Well, over the past few years, Trent and I have gotten to know a lot of the team members at Turner, and we've always been impressed with the camaraderie, how well everyone seems to get along, and also the community service. Before you go, Corey, give us an idea about some of the things that Turner and Turner employees are doing out there in the Omaha community.
Sure. This has been one of our, I would say, largest focus, right? When we come into a market, we want to make sure it feels authentic, and the one way to do that is really to ingrain yourself into that community. One of the things I'm probably most proud of is our Turner School of Construction Management. We just finished our first graduating class, graduated eight individuals through the class, and I'm proud to say that we actually awarded our first contract to one of the graduates from that program. And second program starting up January 7th. So
how long is the program?
It's a 9-week course, and it's really open book. We share with them all of our processes and everything that we feel like it goes into managing risk on a construction project, and what we feel like it's how to be successful. No one right way to do it. This is just what we found is successful, and we want to share that with some of our underrepresented and small business partners in the community. So something we're really proud of and excited to continue to grow.
These are external people that work for other companies that go through the school?
Absolutely. Yeah. So small businesses, whether it be a potential trade partner, other small general contractors, Anybody is welcome. So we, like I say, 9-week course, and we talk through everything from finances to safety.
And then you hire them to do part of your jobs.
Yeah, absolutely. We want to. I think that's the ultimate way to pay it back, right? Is that train them up and ideally create that opportunity on our projects
and get them started.
Get them started.
Well, Corey, we appreciate you taking time out of your weekend to talk construction with us, and we also appreciate everything you and your colleagues are doing to make Grow Omaha as good as it possibly can be. Thanks for your support, and thanks for being with us today.
Jeff, Trent, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Our pleasure. Corey Taylor from Turner Construction.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.